Yes, yes, ma'am. I'll get to you. Yes, sir.
Don't want to put the reasons.
Do not put anything on there. I submit an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, I don't give them anything because just check I think you've got it valued above market value and it's inequitable in comparison, and send it in. I mean, all you're doing is registering. You're getting your foot in the door. You're stamping your ticket, and then you gather your information. So I apologize for misunderstanding. Yes, ma'am. You had a question.
Yeah, my experience with Williamson County is you have to deal with the staff first, and the staff have been instructed to reject your protest.
What she said, and I'm just repeating what she said, was that Williamson County it has mandatory informals. Absolutely true. Travis County will soon have that. We're rapidly becoming Williamson County in Travis, and so there's a mandatory informal that they will not allow you to go to the board until you've had gotten softened up, as it were, by the staff. She then went on to say that the staff was instructed to reject your appeal. Ma'am. No, really, they're not. What they have is, in some appraisal districts and at times in Travis, there used to be this demerit system. If you've been in the military, it's demerits here. You get demerits for lowering values. And suddenly you're just not supposed to lower values. That has gone away. Yeah, for the staff, they kind of keep a track. They do keep track of how many values you lower as a staff person and how much value you're giving away. Despite the validity of the appeals, you still gave it away. You didn't hold the fence. You didn't, you gave up. What are you doing? And they beat them up for that. That's not the case anymore. Most of those staff people really have no vested interest in whether your value stays high or goes low. They couldn't care less, generally. Let me get to this, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
For both counties, for Travis and for Williamson, for the school district, do we file for both?
An excellent question, Ken, and I am so sorry if I've already gotten away from this thing. I'm sorry. She asked about the folks that are in Round Rock ISD or Leander ISD that may be actually physically located in Travis County. And in the past, you did have to file in both appraisal districts, and it was very confusing because if you're in Round Rock ISD, but Travis County, you did your appeal in Travis County. But if you were in Leander ISD, you filed protest in both counties, but you couldn't do Travis until you had done Williamson. The law changed for 2008. Effective January 1st, 2008, the appraisal district of the county in which you are located handles the protest, regardless of what school district you're in. So if you are physically located in Travis County, you'll be doing Travis County appeals this year. If you are physically located in Cedar Park, God bless you, you're in Williamson County, and you will then do protests only in Williamson County. That's going to make it a lot easier for a lot of folks, but it led to some of what Ken talked about, and those were those surprise increases. There were about 35,000 parcels that Travis had never appraised before, and they were suddenly responsible this year for appraising them. Those are the ones in Leander School District predominantly. In fact, 70% of the Leander ISD tax base is physically located in Travis County. And so Travis County is now responsible for setting all those values. And bless their heart, I think they missed the mark on quite a few. Probably worse in when they took over for Burnett ISD. That's been the most egregious examples that I've seen this year. And that's the stuff out on the lake at Spicewood that was in Marble Falls ISD but was in Travis County. And Travis has overshot the runway and is in the ditch for their appraisals there. I mean, they are 30% high. There's never been a sale as high. There's not even an offering. Never been an offering as high as the values they have assigned to some of that lakefront property up there. And that leads me to another thing, a little insider bit. The appraisal district in Travis County, y'all are familiar with Art Corey, the chief appraiser in Travis County, well-spoken individual, well-respected throughout the state. Guy was really sharp. Ran a shop that got their appraisal roll out on time. He did all the good things. He's retired. And a young gun who was the deputy chief appraiser in Williamson County has now come in as the chief in Travis. His name's Pat Brown. He's an MAI appraiser, the first MAI appraiser to ever be a chief appraiser in a metro district, one of the large 6 metro districts. He's brought with him some of the techniques and tactics of Williamson County. We are all fearful that they'll do that informal, immediately formal bit, and that is the most abusive bit of policy I've ever seen. That is where you go in with the informal, they hit you with a bunch of sales you don't know anything about, have no opportunity to review, have no opportunity to go look at, and then the minute you get up, they make you go in front of the ARB and try to contest data you've never seen before. That is just abuse, and that is what goes on in Williamson County. That's why I said, in misunderstanding his question, you better go in loaded when you walk in Williamson. Travis, at least you have some time to catch your breath. Let's talk for just a minute, if we can, about homestead exemptions. I mean, that's the single greatest thing that you have to deal with in controlling your property taxes. The general homestead exemption is a wonderful thing for those folks who are under 65. Most of the folks here, in fact, all the folks from what I see, it gives you just a minimal amount off your taxes. It takes $15,000 off the value. So if you got a $300,000 house, it doesn't do squat for you. But it does reduce a little bit of the value. Importantly, though, it does give you 20% off the county taxes, which is a good thing. The most important feature of it, though, is that it establishes the 10% cap. Has everyone, are we up to speed? Let me go through my hand gyrations on the 10% cap. The 10% cap is the legislature back in 2001, I think, established a two-tiered appraisal system: the taxable value for your house and the market value for your house. The market value can and will go wild. It can go to as high as you want, but the taxable value of your house can only increase 10% per year. And on the previous graphic, you saw where he was saying, look for the total market value of your house, and then look 2 lines down, and you'll see appraised value with homestead limitation. That's your 10% cap value. Say your property was valued at $250,000 last year. This year it comes out at $325,000. Not an unusual situation here in Travis County. I mean, a huge increase. But the taxable value of your house, the cap value, should in no case go above $275,000. So you've got this huge gap now. Market value at $325,000, taxable value at $275,000. You've got to argue your way through that whole $50,000 to get down to anything that's going to save you any money. And many times I'm telling folks, don't bother. You're not going to ever get down to $275,000. There's no evidence at all that'll get you down there. Don't even bother protesting. And I'll tell you, it used to pain me to say that, but now it has become so widely understood at the appraisal district and in the appraisal review boards that they will not hold it against you that you did not contest last year's market value if you were capped that year. They just won't. They won't say, well, you didn't protest that $325,000 last year. What all you have to say is, but I was capped at $275,000, so it didn't matter. And they will not ever mention that again. So the cap has really diminished the number of protests by virtue of throw it against the wall because you know 10% is going to stick. You know, they're going to raise your value 25%, but they know you're not going to get down to that 10% increase. So in many cases, I mean, I have a lot of clients out on the lake whose house value, land value, went from say $150,000 in 2000, tax year 2000, to $1.5 million in tax year 2001. Well, I mean, they're never, ever going to pay property taxes on the market value of their property as long as they're alive and staying in that house, because it's just going up at 10% a year. It went to 165, 177. It's never going to get up there in terms of the taxable value of your house. So the 10% cap is the most important thing.